Somaliland is located in East Africa region. This country does not have many perennial river or water resources. On the other hand, this country has been blessed with unique seasonal river which produce flash floods after the monsoon rains. These flash floods cause lot of damage to infrastructure, housing and human settlement when not properly managed and diverted. On the other hand, these flash floods can be a good opportunity and blessing for the local communities because by scientifically diverting these flash floods to the field will result in good agriculture system in the country. Spate irrigation system provides lot of opportunities. People have been developing this system with their local science, art and technology, and they simply convert these flash floods into blessing and opportunity. On the other hand, many people will consider flash flood as disaster, but here the case is quite opposite. Spate irrigation system has been practiced in this part of the world since centuries. It's basically a low cost and local material is used in constructing the bund and embankments and diverting structures. It requires low inputs. This system is environment friendly because all farming done through this system is organic. Use of chemical fertilizer and pesticide is minimum. Farmers in this system use indigenous varieties and these are well adapted to the local system and these are drought resistant too. Spate irrigation system is easily manageable because it has a participative nature. That means local water users associations are responsible to manage this system effectively, keeping in view the local water rights and uses. Spate irrigation system is also helpful to recharge the groundwater, which is later on used by wells. As I have already told that this country does not have many perennial water resources, so in this case, spate irrigation system is the last hope in this country. Here we discuss about cost of different types of spate irrigation system, and one we can see here is this, that's the Rehan Zaiban in Pakistan, where the cost was just $5 per hectare, and this type of structure included large soil bund and embankment with gabion core, diversion channel, and this whole scheme was able to irrigate more than 12,000 hectares in 1 year. And on the same page we can see it that the cost may go up to $220 per hectare, and this type of structure includes soil bund and gabion structure. We have few more examples. This is again an example from Pakistan, Mochiwar in Khyber Pakhtunkhwa province, and here the cost is just $1 per hectare. On the same page we can see from Eritrea that this scheme has costed us $444 per hectare, and it included diversion weir, guided bund and flood channel. Even then it seems higher on this table, but when we compare it with modern irrigation structure, it's still very economical. Here we see that what is the status of area equipped for spate irrigation in selected countries. Here we can see easily that Somalia is number 3 in the world in terms of area under spate irrigation. And here we say spate irrigation as a percentage of total irrigation. In that case, Somalia is number 2 in the world. Besides this, in recent years, spate irrigation system is on continuously increase in Somalia. Now here we talk about a particular project in Somaliland, and it's Tug Dheer Burao region, and this Tug Dheer drainage basin has unique characteristics, and some surface water records are available for this river at Burao for 6 years. Although it's old, data, but still it's very useful because it gives us lot of information. It was recorded between 1945 to 1950. During this period, an average of about 33 spades were recorded per year, which is a lot. And out of that, about 85% of these occurred during the 5 months from May to September, which is actually this rainy season in that area. It is estimated that an average runoff was 33 million cubic meters per year, which is a lot. Under this, we can also see that the total catchment area of the drainage basin of this Tug Dheer is more than 100,000 square kilometers. And here we can see near Burao, this is an old scheme on this Tug Dheer river, and these three canals have been selected to work with. Okay. So here we can see a good example of a dry river. It only discharge water after the rains has happened in the catchment area. But most of these flash floods are not utilized on its way, neither for crop production nor for rangeland development, and they simply drain into the ocean. And here we discuss an old scheme regarding spate irrigation system. This is really an excellent example. This particular scheme was improved by a kind of a modern structure during British rule in 1952. Here we can see that they have made some structure to divert water from the main river to a side canal, and there are 4 outlets to discharge water from this area, from this river to the command area. But over a time period, this scheme has not been fully functional because it lacks repair and maintenance, and that was basically due to a political disturbance when the area people were moved from here and they left the area. And spate irrigation is not only about the water as such, but it also includes that soil moisture conservation is very much required, and this is an example that pre-planting plowing is very much important, and this basically plowing was done before the flood comes, so upon receiving a flash flood, more moisture can go inside. And there are other issues related to this is also that there's invasion of unwanted species just like mosquito. And here is another example that how mosquito is coming up. This all has been happening in this spate irrigation area because this particular scheme was not functional for many years, and in a result, the fields were empty, not under crops, and then these were invaded by unwanted species. And now this mosquito has become a real problem in this area. Now we talk about this project that we have formulated, and it includes rehabilitation of 10 canals, and these have been designed according to a certain criteria, and we have taken into consideration the commitment and consensus of local communities. That means that the water rights are respected, and we have to go according to the local water users association as they recommend us and as they suggest us. So besides diverting water from main river to canal, we also included the water ponds, which are used mainly for livestock purpose. And alone water diversion is not enough. We need to address watershed area from where these waters are, from where these floods are, coming. Because there is a lot of sedimentation coming through these flash floods, and if this watershed is not managed properly, then the sediment will increase. So this project also includes agricultural inputs to be given to the local farmers, and not alone only inputs, but these will be coupled through training program, skill enhancement, and it will be done through extension program by local Ministry of Agriculture. And goal of this project is to contribute to economic growth through increased economic productivity from irrigated land by reducing uncertainties of water availability and improving sustainability by farmer participation. That means basically that the flood is coming anyway. But here the whole goal is to have reliable supply of these floods to the field. And its indicators are that uncertainties associated with water availability are reduced and incident of poor years are reduced. An objective of this scheme are that's to improve existing traditional flood irrigation system in order to improve water availability and reliability to the scheme and allow more controlled use of the same floods. And then encouraging land user, that is not only the field farmer but all type of land, which include rangeland and for fodder production and land to recharge the water through active participation in the development of their own land, so that it contribute to the sustainability of the scheme on the long run. And then it's to improve the delivery of agriculture and irrigation input and services to farmer and land user, and improving farm practices and economic efficiency of the scheme through training and skill enhancement program. And then to support extension service of local Ministry of Agriculture and field offices, farmer organization and individual farmers, including women. And project activities will include civil work. These are the water diversion structure, and these must be low cost and reliable. And this is not just imposed by the civil engineers or other irrigation engineer, but a consensus is developed through farmers, and this scheme was presented to them, and then feedback was taken from them, and there will be follow-up during its implementation. One of the biggest problem is that when these flash floods are coming, they have a lot of sediments, and these really create a problem in the field by raising the field level, and also they choke these canals and channels. And this under this program it will be supervised, and desilting of channel will be done through local farmer organization. So we have discussed about diversion of water. We have also discussed about sedimentation control. But another important factor is the soil moisture conservation and agronomic practices. It will include the training, demonstration, and experiment of new varieties and new practices, and some innovative ideas. And instead of monocropping, mixed farming will be encouraged. We will also be helping the local farmers in marketing aspect and value addition. And there will be a separate program as a part of the whole project, and it will look after pest and disease control through inputs and training measures. Of course, this spate irrigation system needs a strong social organization. This social organization is there, and in case for some canals, if it's not there, then it will be supported to establish those, and those canals where there are already water users association, those will be a strengthening, so that the operation and maintenance of this system is directly dealt with this social organization through mutual discussion and decision making. And if there are some dispute, these water user association will be able to resolve those things. There will be a strong communication strategy with this water user association, farmer organization, local ministry, and central government, agriculture department, livestock department, so that the inputs and all trainings are there in a most cost-effective way. And this scheme also includes the capital for for cost recovery and management of this system. And when we are talking about farmer organization, we are also talking about the gender issues. And in this case, in the project area, this women organization will be established. And this scheme has the integrated approach. It will take care of watershed, that means in the upstream. It will also take care of livestock sector, pastoralism and agriculture sector, farm forestry, fuel wood plantation, and cash crops. And the project strategy will be that this project will be implemented and operated through community consultation, and then scheme design is discussed with them, and there will be some permanent structure. And while we are making this permanent structure, we have to follow the local rules, so no one can encroach in the river bed. It means that the side channel will be able to divert water just near the banks of the river, and water rights are respected, and the water will be available to the field on turn basis according to the local laws and under consensus of water user association. And there will be agreement for the implementation, and a work plan will be discussed with this local all water user association. And this scheme will include water diversion structure, farm activities, and training. And this is when we were formulating this project, we had a meeting with communities in the field. And these local farmers, senior farmers, they are explaining us on the ground through some sketches and diagram that how the old system was there, and they want to have this new scheme on the same pattern. And we need to respect their point of view. As we have discussed already, that the project has different components like civil infrastructure that includes canal intakes, and that will consist of stone masonry work, and then excavation of canal to the desired length. It's usually from 1 to 4 kilometers depending on that situation. And field outlet will be made, and beside that there will be some grain storage structures of simple nature, simple type, and watershed management will also be addressed. And this project also supports drinking water ponds for livestock. Under capacity building component, trainings are there. Local farmers will be taken on a study tours to the same type of scheme in different regions within the country, and there will be exposure visit as a part of capacity building, and there will be farmer field schools to work with the local farmers. Training will be also in social organization, mean strengthening of farmer organization, agriculture group, livestock group, and rangeland management group. Extension service will have a master trainer. Extension services will have a master trainer, which will include master trainers. So later on, they can give same training to their fellow farmers. The training will also be provided to the Ministry of Agriculture and farmer organization member. And at initial stage, input provision is also made that seeds of improved varieties will be given to them, and some improved tool will also be provided beside equipment to these local farmers. There will be some on-site experiment and demonstration of new varieties and new technologies which will be helpful for improved agriculture practices in this area. And here we see that this particular, spate irrigation system have got 14 canals, and under this project, 10 canals will be rehabilitated under old water user association and under existing customary rules and regulation. And here is that they do how they divert this flash flood from main river to the fields. They just make some soil embankment in the river, and the water is partially diverted to the inlet channels. But these are not, as stable as compared to the cemented structure of stone masonry. People also use local shrubs and branches to divert the water. It's a very economical one, but it's not sometimes reliable. So in this case, what we have done is this, that we have taken into account the local system, especially the sites where these intake structures are made by the people, because these sites are according to the local water rules, which is very important for us when we are modernizing this system. And here is this improved structure. We can see it. It's a scheme sketch, and it's more clear that inside river there will be a 7-meter structure of stone masonry which will divert water, and the initial part of canal would be around about 150 meter, and this is all stone masonry. Here it's more clear, the 3D view. We can see that that some water will go into this channel, and the remaining water will flow as usual into the river and downstream. And after some distance, there will be another structure like this, and in total there will be 10 structures of this type what we are seeing now. It's again another view of this canal, and if you can look, this is another structure, so we can see this cemented structure in the middle, and this is how it will look like. And we can see the main feature of this scheme. Here it's very important to note that the cost is just $54 per hectare, which is really economical as compared to other modern structure. Total cost of the canal, which are 10, it's about $0.6 million, which is equal to a few tubal installation, almost equal to save from the flood scheme. And initially through this scheme there will be 3,000 to 4,000 hectares will be irrigated, and gradually it will increase between 10,000 to 14,000 hectares of land under different crops, fodder production and cereal crops per year. There will be a crop diversity and integrated farming through this project. And we can see here that the old canal is not able to divert water fully, but this is how the area looks like now without project. And channel and canal excavation will look like this. And this scheme will also help to recharge water in the riverbed, just like as we can see that in Somaliland, people are using these bed rivers for drinking water and for irrigation on small scale. And this is another example where agriculture is being practiced through flash floods and spate irrigation system. And field improvement are the best way to utilize these flash floods, because at the moment the flash flood just go into the open area without any embankment. As a result, what happened that the water does not have enough time to stand in the field, so it does not percolate inside soil. But by making just this simple embankment, it will get a chance to stand in the field and percolate deep enough, so it will result as a more soil moisture in the field to be utilized by crops. And as I have told already, that the main focus is also to produce quality seed for the next crop. And this is just a simple and small container used at household level. Farmer will be given a training to grade the seeds by just simple techniques and then put into a safe place like this grain storage. And this will be helped under this project as an integral activity and important activity, and it will be basically done by women because they are the most important part of any social organization, and they also have a real role to play into this type of agriculture. Thank you very much for listening this. And if you want to know more about Spate irrigation system, then go to the Spate irrigation website. Thank you very much.